I hope you all are well and good. And today I'm going to discuss a very important part regarding Chelsea. We know we are going through a very bad form. We have lost 3 matches in a row in the league, 6 wins, 3 draws, 5 defeats, and nothing right now is going in the right way for the club now. And it's time for some very important chats regarding the club. Now, many people are throwing the word out, trust the process, trust the process, trust the process, trust the process, and that's the way. And there are some other people that are going about, we are Chelsea, we are Chelsea, we are Chelsea, we are Chelsea, it's success, and that all things. And this is where the fan base is getting divided. A lot of people are saying Tuchel in, bring it back, bring it back. Many people are saying Tuchel is the person responsible for this, blah, 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 all that stuff. And the fan base right now is divided, it's really not going well, the debates are not really healthy, and it's really getting to a bad level now. So let's start first of all on the trust the process one. And is it the really right word for Chelsea right now, and is it the way we should be going on? Now, first part I'm going to start is people really say to trust the process word, but again, people never realize that it differs from club to club to club. Now, many people are saying Chelsea should be following the path of Arsenal. First, I will say I have a lot of respect for Arsenal, admiration for the way they run, very well-run club, and this is in no way trying to dish them or banter them, a big respect for them. But Arsenal were in a different way where Chelsea were. First of all, Arsenal had less quality squad than Chelsea. Socrates, Mustafi, Lacazette, Aubameyang, who was not in the right attitude with Arteta at that time. And even after that FA Cup win, the squad was very disjointed. David Luiz and Willian was signed. The midfield was not there. And Arsenal was a squad that was one of the 6th or 7th best squad in the league at that time. So Mikel Arteta first had to make them a proper top 6 club and then take them to the top 4. So task for Mikel Arteta was much harder, whereas Graham Potter has scored, which has still got some very world-class players, some very good players, and a club that 2 years back won the Champions League. Arsenal, for the major trophies, hadn't won a major trophy in the Premier League for 15-16 years, while in that time the only FA Cups were the ones that they were really winning. So again, is Arsenal's process really comparable to Chelsea? It took them 3 years to come to the level they are. So if we go by that logic, Chelsea should be there by 1.5 years, but that's not the way it works. This is why using the trust the process word and comparing with Arsenal for me is not the right way, because the circumstances differ and the managers and the philosophy differs. Coming to the second part now, many people say trust the process word with the way that this is the only way Chelsea can go and this is the only right way for Chelsea to go. We have to take 3 years of pain. Now for me, first of all, my opinion is I'm ready to take any pain that's possible. I'll support this club whether we are in the championship, whether we're in the League One, whether we are 15th ranked, I'll support this club. But now let's come to the tangible ones, that is it really sustainable? It's very easy to say let's take 3 years of pain, Chelsea are debt free and all this stuff. But let's talk about first of all the stadium. Arsenal, United, Tottenham, Liverpool, Manchester City all have much larger stadium than us, and even Newcastle. We only have a 41,000 seater stadium. Arsenal have around 60,000 or above. Tottenham have 60,000 or above. Liverpool are also expanding. Manchester City have around 55,000 to 60,000. Manchester United have 70,000, 75,000, and Chelsea only have a 41,000 seater stadium. So the profits we earn are not the sustainable. Our history is not as big as those clubs, and the money we earn through revenue is not that way. So 3 years of pain, 3 years without top 4 is very catastrophic for Chelsea. With the money we have spent this window, FFP and everything, it's very easy to say go on a 3-year pain. But Manchester United are developing under Erik ten Hag. Arsenal are really developing under Mikel Arteta. Manchester City are unstoppable. Newcastle are growing. Aston Villa might even grow under Unai Emery. Tottenham are only going to grow, and the stadium and the money they've got is enormous right now. You go towards the other clubs in the league and even they might develop, and it's not sustainable. Premier League is only going to become more and more competitive, and guaranteeing top 4 is only going to become harder. So throwing this word out that let's take the pain is not as easy as it looks like, and Chelsea is not one of the biggest clubs when it comes to finances. We're not a Barcelona, Real Madrid, Manchester United, and we will struggle without finances. If let's say Chelsea finish out of top 4 for 4 years, what attraction has Chelsea got to get players here? Barcelona have history, Real Madrid have history, Manchester United have the history. What have Chelsea got? Let's be honest, we are not at that level. So we have to be honest with ourselves. Now coming on to the managers, now very easy to say go on and trust the process, trust the process. And many people use the reference of Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool. Now Jurgen Klopp had done a fantastic job at Borussia Dortmund, and he's one of the best managers in the world. Pep Guardiola at Manchester City is a world-class manager who has always shown that if you give him the resources, he's going to take the club to a great height. Mikel Arteta was unproven, but now he's proven himself. But again, he was unproven. Now, Graham Potter, for me, coming to Chelsea manager, is a very good manager and a manager I admire. But again, has he proven himself at a bigger club? No. How can you say that he will be successful in 3 years, 1 year, 2 year? It could be a 2 year process, it could be a 4 year process, or the process just might never work. So again, I will say to the fans, stop using this word and only use the word rebuild. Stop this word process. Rebuild is the only correct way because nobody knows how a club can go. Rebuild can also happen with 2 different managers, 3 different managers, one manager, but process would only happens with one and in a 3 or 4 year way, but you cannot ever ascertain that is it going to be successful or not. Because I'm just going to give you one example. If Arsenal in the next 4 years go without a trophy, is that process successful? Tottenham played fantastic football under Pochettino, reached Champions League final, but people call them bottless. So if Arsenal for 4 years more go without a trophy, is that process what people want? Right now, they're top of the league, people are clapping and happy, but I know how reactionary people can be. So again, you have to also see what's the end result of the process. And this brings me to the final point regarding Chelsea. What should we do? For me, Graham Potter is a manager I really admire, and what I saw of his Brighton side is some great football, developing youngsters, and a manager that has got a lot of ability. So I'm ready to back Graham Potter. But I will love to make one point. He did all this at Brighton, and no disrespect to Brighton, but you cannot compare Chelsea to Brighton. And scrutiny, pressure, fan pressure, media pressure, player pressure, egos, that is 100 times harder at Chelsea than at Brighton. So Graham Potter will have to prove himself in that regards, and this is my one doubt of him. Number second for me is for Graham Potter is I'm ready to give him this season. I'm ready to give him 2 transfer windows and 1.5 year. But other than that, he has to get results. Nobody knows what Todd Boehly is. He's a new owner who will try to impress the fans in first instance. He will also not want his brand to become less successful or at least less attractive to the sponsors. And number third thing I want to say is I will love to give Graham Potter this January transfer window and to integrate his players, the summer transfer window and to integrate his players. But I am ready to take a 10th finish this season. I am ready to take a 15th place this season. But next season we have to be in the top 4 or it's going to be a catastrophe financially. And the second point is right now I am not seeing any identity with Graham Potter. And one thing fans always want is something to back on. I want only something that I can see on the side and say, yes, this is what Graham is building. Let's get behind it. Right now, I'm not seeing that. And these players always love when a new manager is appointed. They love the training sessions and then they throw the manager out. But now coming to the third point, the final point of the video, Chelsea. I think for Chelsea, whether Graham was the manager, whether Thomas was at the club at the same time, Chelsea always needed a rebuild and a rebooting of a culture. And it's time for Chelsea to put the coaches over the players. And it's time for Chelsea to go in the image of the coach and the owner, irrespective of the players. For me, you just cannot build a squad as per Graham Potter because sadly, nobody knows in today's time, is a manager going to last at the club for 10 years, 5 years or something like that. But you have to go with a mix. Give manager his players, but also sign some young players which keep your future secure. And Chelsea, for me, have to go on this rebuild, not a process, rebuild and rebuild the squad and then try to be successful in the future. But for the current one, we have to show some progress. And for the future one, we have to get top 4 next season for me. And for me, I just want to see some signs of progress from Graham Potter. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope you have a great day.